A Trump-appointed federal judge just delivered a stunning rebuke to his own appointer, using the word smear to describe the White House's attacks on the judiciary. This unprecedented pushback from within Trump's own judicial selections reveals how far presidential intimidation tactics have gone. The constitutional tension between branches of government has intensified around First Amendment protections, as evidenced by conflicting approaches to flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. No early exits, no nothing.
Wherever you feel that you may want to express yourself. There's a First Amendment right to burn the American flag.
If I were king, I would not allow people to go about burning the American flag. However, we have a First Amendment which says that the right of free speech shall not be abridged, and it is addressed in particular to speech critical of the government. I mean, that was the main kind of speech that tyrants would seek to suppress. Burning the flag is a form of expression. Speech doesn't just mean written words or oral words. It could be semaphore. Burning a flag is a symbol that expresses an idea. I hate the government is unjust, whatever.
In the end, and no one knows the Constitution better than you do, doesn't it come down to your personal interpretation of the Constitution? If it isn't clear-cut, which it clearly isn't.
Well, don't forget, this person has to be convicted by a jury of 12 people who unanimously have to find that he was inciting to riot. So, it's not all up to me. It would be up to me to say that there was not enough evidence for the jury to find that, perhaps. But ultimately, the right of jury trial is the protection.
Yep, I'm being detained because I expressed my First Amendment right to burn the United States flag in public, not causing harm or causing any danger to any citizens or personnel in the area.
The administration's systematic campaign against judicial independence has now prompted extraordinary judicial pushback from within Trump's own appointees. Trump-appointed judge rebukes White House for smear of judiciary. A federal judge has forcefully rejected a highly unusual lawsuit the Trump administration filed against 15 other judges whom the Justice Department accused of hindering the president's mass deportation agenda. In tossing out the lawsuit, U.S. District Judge Thomas Cullen, a Trump appointee, lamented what he described as the White House's months-long smear of the federal judiciary. The policy was adopted in May in a standing order signed by the chief federal district judge in Maryland, George Russell III, an Obama appointee. The Maryland court described the policy as a way to ensure the judges have time to consider immigration cases amid rapid-fire mass deportation efforts. The Justice Department argued that the policy operates as an illegal automatic injunction against the administration's deportation efforts. The policy is a particularly egregious example of judicial overreach interfering with executive branch prerogatives, the department alleged. The administration's lawsuit in Maryland came amid an avalanche of harsh verbal attacks the White House has unleashed against judges across the country who have ruled against Donald Trump's immigration measures. Cullen, who is based in Virginia, denounced those attacks in his ruling on Tuesday. Although some tension between the coordinate branches of government is a hallmark of our constitutional system, Cullen continued, this concerted effort by the executive to smear and impugn individual judges who rule against it is both unprecedented and unfortunate. Cullen served as a Trump-appointed, Senate-confirmed U.S. attorney in Roanoke, Virginia, from 2018 to 2020, before being confirmed to the district court there at the end of Trump's first term. The administration filed its lawsuit in Maryland, but all of the district judges in Maryland were forced to recuse themselves because they were named as defendants, so the case was assigned to Cullen. Cullen emphasized the extraordinary and, in his view, improper nature of the lawsuit. Judge Cullen's rebuke represents a critical moment in constitutional governance. When a Trump-appointed judge describes the White House's behavior as a smear campaign that is unprecedented and unfortunate, it signals that judicial independence remains stronger than political loyalty. The administration's lawsuit against 15 judges represents an extraordinary escalation, effectively trying to use the courts to punish other judges for ensuring adequate time to consider cases. This weaponization of the judicial system against itself demonstrates how far executive overreach has progressed. Most significantly, Cullen's ruling validates the separation of powers doctrine that federal judges serve the Constitution, not the presidents who appoint them. His willingness to publicly condemn the concerted effort by the executive to smear and impugn individual judges shows institutional resistance to authoritarian pressure from within the system itself. Subscribe and hit that notification bell for coverage of how judicial independence withstands executive pressure through constitutional principles. Comment below, do you think Trump-appointed judges should be expected to rule in his favor or serve constitutional law? Your understanding of judicial independence matters for democratic governance.